So we know childhood in Dhari is Tribhuvan Das. We know his geometry exams, not wanting to cheat off of others, cheating as God is equivalent to cheating on the exam. We know early renunciation where he wanted to not marry, he wanted to not spoil his life, even though his mother requested him to do marriage. We have childhood vision of Chapaya, him and his brother Kamal Shivai, divine child, and Cotton Thief incident, renunciation, temple worship, and initial renunciation failed attempt, Jairam, with his cousin Jairam. We have Krishnacharana Das Swami's initiation proposal. He wanted to become a sadhu. Then we have farewell and journey to Junagadh. Puri Bakar Kansar and Kamal Shipai also left his 16-year-old brother with Krishnacharana Das Swami, and he said to bring honor to the family. Pacha Diksha, we could mental image is to imagine an alley and he is doing cow service, 606 months of cow service. And he is doing production order pilgrimage around the Akshar Dairy every single day. He is nursing these handicapped sadhus in the same way you nurse a cow. He is nursing these handicapped sadhus and elderly sadhus, massaging their feet and their stomach. And he has a historic first meeting. So you can think of the alley as a one. And he has a first meeting with Shashi Maharaj, including Jina Bhagat, again Krishna Ji Ada's home. We have all around Sadhu Bhagat Diksha, which is Gyan Jivan Das, 36 kilometer waterless fast to others. Step well, extreme austerities. He did extreme fasting, shunning milk and ghee, eating only rotlo and simple meals, rule based. Whenever he did hear his native village of Dhari, he did not want to go there. He refused to go there. He also mastered cooking and kitchen seva when Swami Haripradas enthusiastically washed the utensils, and he was always asking him, "Will Swami be pleased?" That was the only question that he had after dinner assembly devotion. He said to let us clean the utensils swiftly to be in time for the sabha. So you can think of all round sadhu as initially he does the walk, 36 km waterless fast walk, has all these austerity practices, then he wants to go back, right? Wants to go back, all these temptations to go back, but he refuses rule-based return. Then he is also mastering cooking and kitchen seva, and then after dinner assembly devotion. And then under the wings, it's all about meeting Shastri Maharaj and Krishna Charan Das Swami and Ganaji Das, 19 pairs of Charnavid. We know about Narayan Das from Nilkant Das from Narayan Das group, Narayan Bhagat. We know sterling quality. So the S is for Saranpur Mandir fence. We also know is the beating in the Narnarayan Mandir in Ahmedabad. We know it's the Kansar welcome, breaking vow of the Kansar. We know it is also serving, carrying 5 bundles. So 5 bundles is SPBS. Switch that. 5 bundles to Bochasan. Afternoon utensil washing compassion. Scrub utensils haven't anything to do with their construction at Saharanpur. We know extreme poverty during the construction. We know cooking cooking oil lasting 3 months. Barefoot. This is Bignandas as well as Nirgundas. Karsing Ji Bapu. Difficult collection trip. One who is of Paramhans nature. Shashi Maharaj protective care. And then historic Murti installation in Saharanpur. Prophecy of Shashi Maharaj, 100-year-old prophecy. Right. We know Gopran Gurnatitana and Shiji Maharaj installation murtis brought them by Vadodara in the train. Protective care. So this one, mandir construction, you can think of mandir construction. We already linked the protective care. Think of his statue. Don't overload his container with building materials. Serving an elderly sadhu during these collection trips. Barefoot, having a jodi on his shoulders, bandhu on head. Barefoot while taking care of Vignandas and Nirgundas Swami, collecting these grains, trudging with rosary in hand. Living with Vignandas, all of the different. This is typical. This is typical. This is routine. 32 March when he forgot the ghee and that about food. March without water when no one came to receive him. Pinched, pushed from Mandir Terrans, and then the secret ballad, torn letter, swimming against the tide. All about the beatings. All about the beatings. All about the beatings. All about the physical assaults. Refusal to file criminal complaints, especially after the Kedia beating. That was the most severe one at the Kedia beating. And then the next one is this is swimming against the tide. Swimming against the tide, all about beatings. all about beatings, dismissing defamatory publications, so these slanderous pamphlets on legal action, and claiming about getting foreign funds from abroad, but he dismissed that. It's not true. Hard life. We know Cobra. We know extreme poverty during this Saharanpur under construction. Hard life also rain, right? Flooded grain collection disaster. Rat infested corners. Hard life, right? Rat infested corners. Imagine rat hard life, top of rooftop, walking from one place to another place, avoiding his horse carriages with women returning at midnight. Cobra bite. Mason wages were due, but coffers were empty. Chanted Swaminarayan an extra deity for 2 hours, and Shashi Maharaj's postal money order, as well as another devotee donation. So that is all hard life. It is the wage issue. Mason wages were due. It is the Cobra. Hard life is the Cobra. Hard life is the flooded waters. Hard life is the half-kilo cooking oil lasting 3 months during Saharanpur Mandir construction, at peace with himself. Some dreams. Seva is supreme path to moksha. Addiction of Seva is Kashir. Midnight, 75 unexpected guests. That's at peace. 150 rotla pre-dawn preparation. He says that he recalled this. This is recalling his Seva at the age of 60. Told the youths made 150 rotlas when he used to wake up at 3 a.m. He tells devotees, I am that servant. And then pledge to monastic vows. This is all about refusal from women interactions and blood relatives. So this is refusal to even meet. Kalanchi Bhai busied himself in seva, denial whenever dhari or caste is mentioned, oblivious of the other place, do not belong. 68-fold Renu. This was refused to board until all female passengers left the plane. Girl unexpectedly approached him, calmly accepted missing breakfast. Rigorous discipline for young sadhus. Strict vows. Only 11 items. Nirjal plus. Stickler for vows. So this is all about humility. So last one was monastic vows, mainly for of non-lust and avoiding woman contact. Now this one is all about humility. 64 divine traits. If there's a lapse in my 5 flaws, you can hit me on my head with your shoes. Rejection of birthday celebration, prostrating before young Parshad, humility during 75th birthday celebration, refusing personal recognition. Right? Gondal hostel cannot be named after him. Bonding with the Guru. Okay, so bonding with the Guru. So this is one we need to understand a bit further. So first he has this historic meeting with Shashi Maharaj at Krishnajia Das Rajkot House. Then for 40 years he obeys his orders. If he was to call him out while he was eating, would rush, leaving the meal. Okay, so this is bonding with the Guru. So equal status. When a youth says them, you appear to be us greater than Shashi Maharaj. He was startled. And he said, who says like that? This is not true. Shashi Maharaj said that I am Jogi and Jogi is I, not a iota of difference. And then Jogi will complete the Garuda Mandir. Now, I won't come. Yogaji Maharaj will come and perform the arti, and then Shashi Maharaj then ultimately passed away during that time, went to Akshardham. So that is bonding with the Guru. It is all about 40 years of meticulous obedience, refusing equal status. When he passed away, handed the responsibilities off to YM. Historic first meeting at Krishna Jiyada place. Icon of motherly love is all about visiting the poor hutters, villages, and huts, prioritizing the linesmen of the train, nursing ailing devotees and sadhus. So Vinu Bhagat, Nurse Vinu Bhagat, another devotee's head and massaged his head at Dayo Gando. When everyone mocked him or rejected him, he brought him food. And there was a prophecy that he had to visit his hut as a common theme. Now we have hardship was bhakti, right? Not hard life, but hardship was bhakti. This is car breakdown in the rain, and he still tried to help push the car himself. This is devotee requesting Swami to visit his new house. And even though 30 other families still made the same request, he still did so. 175 houses in one day. So heavy rain, 175 houses in one day. He got actually waterless, and he told you he was suffering from 17 diseases because his legs ache extremely. much. Youths are my heart to Naran Bay broken sandal, making room for Koda Bay, right? Even though there was no room in the car, did Dhanvats to sleeping youths in the middle of the night. English past tomorrow, 51 saints, initiation. That is youths. So youths, Nara and Bay broken sandal, was walking with the clutches of Maya, making room for Koda Bay, midnight prostration to sleeping youths. That is affection for youths. Without haste, without rest. This is all about spreading. So that's a great African postal miracle. We know the 10-year travel vow, postman blessing, network library identical letters. No. That is the next one. Donja devotee dilemma. Surah railway station encounter, 10-year travel vow. Correspondence. So Parsi gentleman postal box. Letter was meant for Mandir 570, but it was delivered to 750. It was meant for Mandir box 75570. It was delivered to box 750. But Swami visited that house when it arrived. And so then the man said, "It's my good luck that you used my post box number." Illegible address complaint. Postman complained about Swami's handwriting, that if he can decipher words from after them, then he is liberated from my handwriting confusion. Mistook 2043 for number of Mahapuras as sponsor. Could only do 200. I asked only for 25. So 2043, 225. Identical letters, touch all letters, same thing, but please bring all of them letters. You have emptied the whole stock, close to a pile of letters brought back to empty the whole stock. Enlivening and enlightening speech and catching the sleepy to Apollo story. Leaves his wedding. African who could not understand, attended full assemblies but couldn't understand. European independently met Yogi Maharaj, and he talked about, and he told others that he talked about topics. I wanted him to speak. So crossing the language barrier, catching sleeping devotee. Nap has no price tag, but if you were paying 10,000 rupees for not napping, would you do it? That's in living and enlightening speeches. We have the African who couldn't understand. We have the European dream meeting. Kalyana's living Bhau story. Someone said yes, then the yagna is over. Reverence for holy places and sacred objects. Went to Chapaya, narrow passage, people tree darshan. Didn't want to visit a people tree, but he wants to have darshan. Please have compassion. Garada visited the old Garada Lakshmi Vadi and old Garada Mandir when Junagadh fire and the whole Haveli in Junagadh was burnt down. Moved to tears. Philosopher's stone has been lost. That is moving to tears. Why is the stone lost? Because the stone represented the Junagadh Haveli, because now it has been lost. 5-place pilgrimage in Sorat region. Every single sacred village, stones, scrolls read aloud, sprinkle holy water on the devotees. Healing touch of this is Antaryami touch. Shade Somabe knew exactly the amount of donation. Could he read minds? Yes. Actually, dream Swami rebuked about alleged partiality. Shashi Maharaj rebuked him, scolded him. 51 fast, Maganpay. Shashi Maharaj ruled meditation of the divinity. Judge Dean BC Dave. Left a segregated religious gathering event. But Swami appeared in his dream at 5 a.m. Sheer divinity, divine self-revelation. Right? Doing pradakshina around Akshardhari. Held the hands of 2 devotees. If you have any doubts about this, you'll go to make God do good to all. So we have the liberated ants. Ants have been liberated. They've been biting him. Mango trees, touch the branches of these mango trees. Touch the trunks of the mango trees. They have been doing penance for the last 10,000 years. Hospital blessing. Train accident. Learning a train accident. Sprinkle lecture daily for 1 mile while passing the site. 40 days later, respect for all religions. Wish I visit defense. Goswami's perfect. So now this one we have Jalaram Bapu about donation exchange. And so what he did is he initially refused the donation, then he accepted it, and he added 101 to donate to Jalaram. So a devotee, after inviting a devotee to a Gondas festival, initially refused the donation, then he accepted it, and then he added 101 to then donate to Jalaram Baba Mandir. Shankaracharya meeting, we have welcoming him with garlands, and then we also have Goswamiji, handicap Goswamiji visited, put on his bug, went downstairs, properly touched his feet. Darshan of the Shivling, offered white lotus garland, 5 rupees to each of the competing people who approached him for donations. Criticizing a Jain worship, right? We did not go alone, but Thakurji was also with us. Daily routine, meticulous bathing ritual. Saab mother would not like it. Refusing back massage. Elaborate tilak, right? Long to stretch the tilak. Generous meal distribution, eating very little himself, then giving it all away to others. Early morning magical hours, sleeping, and he's only happy with it. Only one that is unhappy with insomnia. And he would wake up at 4 to 5:38. And then at the after afternoon rest, do 51 production around the after day turning his mother. And we'll go over BM categories. So first is the entire incident, all of the incidents at Naryad. All the incidents at Naryad. This is the Balaram Das issue. This is the revolt in Naryad where he goes and he is able to allow the flowing of payments to Vartal. In Naryad discourses after the revolt is done. So we have the revolt. After the revolt is done, then we have Naryad discourses. This is art of ruling. How does one know when Upasana has been perfected? We have all the gopis examples here. Dawn of one Purush has left no region in darkness when they are trying to make him leave Naryad. Then we have Petla discourses, L10, 4 types of Purush. We have one winning over mind. Rav Sahib thoughts. Rav Sahib thoughts. Well, then all the complaints happen, right? All the complaints. How can Taylor Night be without God? So Petla discourses is he's in Petla. Rav Sahib's thoughts. All of the complaints happen against he is being worshipped like God. We're being worshipped. Complaining about his group. Right. So Nadia discourses. How does one know Upasana has been perfected? One Purush, right? Dawn of one Purush. Time with his sadhus. So his time with the sadhus, this is pretty typical. This is pretty typical. After time with the sadhus, then we have an entire incidence of Samadhi and Kandesh and his time in Kandesh and journey towards Moa. Then Yagna Purushashi like a scorpion. When we have all these incidents, he arrives at Garuda. We have the entire bunch of incidents where grants darshan to a lot of the people at the outskirts of the village. He's like a wish fulfilling tree. So that's Garuda, right? At Garuda. Then we have Jethabe's entire story. When he comes back to Naryad again to become Brahma, one has to become Brahmacharya, observe Brahmacharya. Then we have entire time in Vansara. So think about it. We have Naryad discourses, and we have Petla discourses. Naryad discourses, art of ruling. How does one know the Upasana has been perfected? We have Petla discourses, which is all about Bhagaji is becoming God, Bhagaji is becoming this. And Loya 10, how can day or night be spent without God? That's all Petla. After Petla, we have all these little incidents. Right, Rav Sahib is also in, I believe in Nadia in Petla as well. So Petla is Rav Sahib, keep his company even if he beats him with the shoes, and the 4 types of Purus described in the Quran. Right, so Muslim chief officer. This is Muslim chief officer. That is Petla. So in Petla, it's L10. How can there not be a Gopi's example as well? Okay, then we have time in Vansada. After time in Vansada, then we have Ahmedabad discourses, right? So time in Vansada, then we have to go, as Sean said, then Ahmedabad discourses. Ahmedabad discourses, Krishna Sarup Das, you're the only one consolidating. We have Power Celibacy. We have Pearl Diver, Deficiency 10 Blues, Krishna, Lord Krishna. We have Hathi Bhai coming. He goes to the Brahmachari's home. They create a poem. Time in Moa. Then we have Vijnanadas. So I'm passing away of J. Krishna, J. Tabe, and put out those 3 examples. Conviction of discourses and activities in Moa. So after Ahmedabad activities, then we have back in Moa. J. Krishna, J. Tabe, Ganpataram activities, and we have conviction and discourses in Moa. So also about the talks in Moa as well. So Chaturvedi openly supports Bhagaji, greatness. All this is Moa stuff. Then he goes back to Garuda, back to Gadpur, right? This is types of murtis, Vajramano's 100 view also follow you. True bliss experience here, bliss of God, like ultimate goal, brave, broom, bliss of God, meditation, all devotees follow Brahm, devotion lacking, understanding worth nothing, see God in all states. Then we have Junagadh. right? Then we have discourse in Jugan. Then that is everything else. That is everything else. That is everything else. So the main was Ahmedabad discourses. After Ahmedabad discourses, we have slight Mahua discourses. We have a few discourses in Gadda. And those few discourses in Gadda are the Murtis, Vajranamrita, 100 people, true bliss, ultimate goal, brave, no bliss, meditation not last without knowledge, right? Then Junagadh. Then Junagadh. The Ahmedabad discourses, we know the nature of the Ahmedabad discourses. Right? They're all about power celibacy, they're all Govind Bay, eradicating the roots, young portion of the Aswami cases, 10 overcome your deficiencies, right? All Krishna Hati Bay, visiting the Brahmachari house. Those are discourses in Ahmedabad. Then we know Moa and the entire incident where Jai Krishna Chaitanya Ganapati Rao throw boat. They visit Moa. Continuation of discourse and activities in Moa. Discourse in Gadra. Now we'll go over some key concepts from these difficult passages. So Saranpur, the best abode, soil is divine, best of mandirs, step well, exact place where mandir will be created. Farewell from Junagadh, we know it's Raghuvirji, Raghuvir Charan Swami, VP3, liquid water versus frozen water. Beloved sun is in our thoughts of everyone. VS10 is yoga gi analogy, called in Kantik minor transgression on sins. Upasana is perfected God's bliss in heart. Brahma 4 commands, happy through God bliss, eradicating materialistic desires, Atma attaching jivas, restraining senses with the spiritual state similar to gopis, keep his company even if he beats him with shoes. Then pleasure, displeasure, alternating. You have one over mind, that is gopis, then right, one over mind. All of the devotees start following him. Brahmachari asks them, oh, why is this happening? They said it is like the gopis. You have one over mind. The devotees, that they themselves say you have it's like the gopis. Example. Then also has a meal at Rav Sahib's house. Let's go over a few of these ones. So 2 armies, we know coward soldiers, we know brave soldiers. Coward soldiers, they care about their body, they care about dying. Brave soldiers, they do not care about anything along the way. They only want to attain the abode of God and nothing else. Don't harbor any other desire. Maharaj went to the consecration of Narayan and he wanted to forget all the memory, forget everything that he saw. Then he went to Ganesh Dhorka and then he made sure that his mind was not tempted. Only the contemplation of God was within his mind. So the Vasudeva Mahatmya, Ekantik Bhakt does not believe his body to be his own true form, believes God to be Chaitanya. Believes themselves to be Chaitanya. And we'll stop there.